In React, a class component is a way to define components in older versions of React. Since React 16.8, functional components with hooks have become more popular and are now recommended. However, understanding class components is still important for legacy code bases. Here's an example of how to define and use a React class component. Basic structure of a class component. Import React component from React. Class myComponent extends component. / state can be initialized in the constructor. Constructor, props. Super, props. This dot state equals count, 0. / class methods for handling actions. Increment count equals. This dot set state, count, this dot state dot count plus 1. Render. Return. Div. P count, this dot state dot count / p. Button on click equals this dot increment count increment / button. / div. Export default myComponent. Key points. State, managed through this dot state and modified via this dot set state. Lifecycle methods. Class components have access to lifecycle methods, such as component did mount, component did update, component will unmount. Props, accessed using this dot props. Example of lifecycle methods. Class myComponent extends component. Constructor, props. Super, props. This dot state equals data, null. Component did mount. / called after the component is mounted. Fetch data, dot then, data equals. This dot set state, data. Component did update, previous props, previous state. / called after the component updates. If previous state dot data equals this dot state dot data. Console.log, data updated. Component will unmount. / clean up before the component is removed. Console.log, component will unmount. Render. Return. Div. This dot state dot data. P this dot state dot data / p. P loading, / p. / div. Comparison with functional components. Class components use this dot state and this dot set state for state management. Functional components now use hooks like useState and useEffect for managing state and lifecycle effects. Let me know if you'd like more examples or further details.